Hello, my name is Schenese Wells, and I did my proposal on fast food versus dining services, the preference of college students. Even though most college students obtain meal plans tend to be more expensive than even dining at your local fast food restaurants or even cooking at home. Due to most students' low financial budget for schooling, many students don't even attend meal plans unless they are required to as a freshman. While many students do not have the financial needs to obtain a meal plan, many students also run on a very busy schedule as well, which gives them little to no time to actually sit down in the cafeteria and enjoy a meal. Even when students do have time to sit down and enjoy a meal, many students prefer to eat out at fast foods due to their taste preferences, as in dining services does not taste as well than fast food options does to a college student. The purpose of this study is to test the idea that students consume more fast food meals than using their meal plan to experience a better dining hall services. This study also explains why students prefer to eat at their local fast food options or school dining halls as well. As the yearly tuition of college rises every year, most students do not have the funds to afford a meal plan, but often choose to for 1 year and 1 year only. Over 50% of more money is spent on meal plans versus fast food services. Most students realize this as it costs over time and every day than they go to the dining hall services. Since the students turn more to the fast food because of their more convenient local budget. Not only does students not have the budget to afford a meal plan, dining halls tend to serve the same things over and over again. Most students get tired of eating the same things over and over again and want something new and different every other day. Students tend to lose taste for the same things, leaving them to remember many other options that they have around campus. Since the dining hall is so repetitive, students tend to lose interest in eating in the dining halls every day, so they often avoid eating in the dining halls by either ordering Grubhub or Postmates or even going to the local Chipotle or McDonald's. Not only do students lose interest in dining hall services because of repetitiveness, they also lose interest because of the lack of choices that they have while they were home with their parents. A lot of students do not get the choice to eat what they want when they want while home with their parents, so they use college time to enjoy all the fast food, all the takeout, and all the deliveries that they can before they go right back home. The local fast food restaurants also tend to be right in front of your face. They are everywhere outside of campus and even on campus. There are some local fast food restaurants. Not only are they right in front of your face, most students say fast food is perfect for the late student hour times. The studying and dining hall hours are all closed down. Since a college student's busiest hours of the day is between 8 p.m. and 1 a.m., during this time, the local dining hall services are all closed and the students are left with no choice but to eat fast food restaurant. Even during normal business hours, a lot of students are in classes while the dining hall hours are open and are left with no choice but to eat their local punch out or campus or their local fast food restaurant located on campus as well. As we jump right along into the experiment, the research question is, do students prefer fast food options over the local school dining halls? Our independent variables would be our students, while our dependent variables would be the preference of food options. For this specific study, the hypothesis states students' preference of fast food options will increase as students' interest in hall services will decrease. This is a quantitative study. It requires no numerical statistics. The participants of this study would be the Howard University students. They would be selected at random and recruited as they walk into our local punch-out dining hall. The participants would be selected during the time frame that the study is being conducted and will be given survey questions if wish to do the study. All classes are welcome and all races are welcomed as well. The students will be encouraged to take the survey in return for candy for their services. Candy has been chosen as a reward because students tend to be willing to do more when food is involved. This study was a questionnaire. It would be a paper survey, and it would be in a dictograph scale with a total of 16 questions, including the participants' information, and a total of 4 responses, which will be always, sometimes, rarely, or never. An Excel sheet will be used to show the results of the individual questions, also the results of the fast food versus the dining hall, which fast food will represent the always and sometimes of the scale, and the dining hall will represent the rarely and never side of the scale. This study would take place in our Blackburn Punch-Out Dining Hall service between the hours of 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. These hours were picked because this is the time where most students tend to fall into the punch-outs right after classes are done being conducted for the day. The instructor would then politely ask the incoming students into the punch-out to take the survey. The instructor will also inform the participants that candy will be given to each student after the survey is successfully taken. Also, a sign-in sheet would be at the front with the instructor with the date of their name, the date, their classification, and their email as well. There would be 5 tables present, equally there would be 5 students at once willing to take the survey. The students that are not taking a survey at that moment can either wait when the table opens, or they can come back before leaving. Paper consent would be constructed to each participant in order for them to sign and return right back to the instructor. Participants' information will include the name, college and university that they are in, classification, race, gender, and age. Race is included is because not only African Americans attend the HBCU, so this would need to be stated as well. After each participant signs a consent form, they will be handed a questionnaire with the 10 questions on it and their 4 responses that they must circle. The 10 questions that participants will be asked are: how often do you eat in the dining halls at your school? How often do you use restaurant/delivery services for meals such as Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates, etc.? How often do you use fast food restaurants for convenience? How often do you use your meal plan at school using any other dining services such as a caf, punch-out, or C-store? How often do you attend local fast food restaurants such as McDonald's, Chipotle, or Subway? How often would you use the school dining services to serve more appealing food options? How often would you use any part of your meal plan if served more appealing foods such as swipes, dining dollars, or bison bucks? How often do you use the restaurant/delivery services as more appealing food was served by your school dining services? How often do you use the dining services if available to access after hours? And how often do you use fast food restaurants for an alternative over the dining hall services at your local school? When the participants is all done with the survey, the participant must sign the bottom of the survey, and it must be hand-held into the instructor. The instructor can proceed to give the participant a handful of candy as promised. To analyze the data, the instructor will collect all surveys and consent forms from all participants. The instructor will then hand tally all surveys by question by all responses of each person. The instructor inserts the tallies into the Excel sheet with chart number 1 stating the questions on the vertical side and responses and tally on the horizontal side, and chart 2 where fast food will be on the vertical side and always and sometimes would be on a horizontal side, along with the dining halls being on a vertical side, and rarely and never being on a horizontal side as well. A total tally for each category will be made. For chart 1, each response for the survey questions will be tallied, and for chart 2, they are already tallied for the fast food versus dining hall services preference. At the end of the study, the results will be discussed, which is the outcome of the study, which is state the outcome of chart number 1, the questions, and state the outcome of chart number 2, which is the fast food dining hall preferences.